I'll start with a different one. Okay? Well, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Look, the club, because of Paul Areola's injury, the club is looking at players. When we have an announcement of a player, we'll certainly, you guys will be the first ones to know, unless there's some reporters that know more than me.
You with Paul, it looked like, or did he have successful surgery on
yes.
Monday?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
No, was it?
Yeah.
What day's today? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. And so with that also, he's officially on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Like,
we can never count any player out because Paul's going to have the carrot of the playoffs. He's going to want to come back for that. But let's just see. I mean, players have come. That used to be, you could come back in 6 months, but then guys would have problems again. So is it 8 months? Is it 9 months? Is it 7.5? Each player is different. But the surgery was successful, and he'll be back in town here very shortly.
After watching the film from the Houston game, what stood out to you?
Well, lack of goals. The chance creation, the numbers, the stats were kind of low based on kind of what I saw. Because look, JP's going to score that. Albert in the second half, how many times have you seen him clean up a ball and score? Paul, our own unfortunate no luck. Their guy can't kick in the back of his net, but our guys can. Some of the other half chances we created, making plays is a Pete Carroll kind of football thing, but that's what I reminded him of. They got to make plays. And it's not just that final play in front of the goal. Sometimes it was the final play in midfield that might have sparked a good attack or a transition moment. Rewatch the first 2 minutes of the second half. And then we can talk later in the week. I mean, we had a couple of chances in the middle part of the field to really start some really good attacking movements, but we just couldn't complete those actions.
So sort of reading between the lines there, it almost feels like the no goals is more of you feel like a result of what you didn't do as opposed to what Houston may have done to kind of stifle.
Well, Houston made it difficult,
yeah,
for sure, but that's credit to Benny there. I mean, he came in with a purpose, and it's challenging to break down a team when they're sitting back like that. But lots of teams have come in here and done that to us. And we have to learn our lessons, and we have to get better. And we have to create more real clear, solid chances inside the penalty box. So we'll work on that during the week. We'll work on it.
Jesus didn't have a shot in this game, but it seemed like he was getting involved to a degree. He had some nice little moments.
Yeah.
But I guess, how do you assess? Do you need to do a better job of putting him in positions, or does he need to do a better job of putting himself in positions?
We're gonna go watch some film together. He's put himself in some good spots, and players haven't found him. And I think that's still a little bit of residual of him as a number 9, and what is Albert used to? He's used to Jordan, So that's gonna take a little bit of time. Is he in front of the box? Is he inside the penalty box enough? We'll work on some of that. I think he needs to get into the box in front of goal a little bit more. That'll help. But he's also an unselfish player. Some of the passing that he does, that he's had throughout his time here, have been very good passes. The right pass at the right moment, but haven't led to his individual shot totals or him scoring.
You briefly mentioned something about last season and this season. Is it frustrated that some of the scoring issues and maybe starting slow still remain, or does it make you confident that just like you did last year, you'll be able to get out of that?
We worked all preseason on new attacking. I think some of our games have been good. Some of those ideas have come across, not consistently, so we need to keep working. But yeah, we worked on them hard in preseason, and then do I have the confidence in this team? Of course. We've been doing this for a long time, and some disappointing results. We're 1-2-2. A win puts us at 500, and then we start rolling, and there's challenges with that, of course, because we got a lot of road games. But we're a good road team. Maybe we can sit back a little bit, absorb pressure, transition. I mean, we'll get some results.
Coach, could you give us an injury update? We saw Reed and Kim in
full training.
What about Pedro and Jordan?
Pedro's a little bit behind. Jordan's a longer bit behind. I'll give you some updates later in the week. They were testing themselves a little bit this week to see exactly where they're at. Pedro a couple weeks, Jordan maybe 3. We'll see.
And then Leo Burney also has not been. He's been on the side. What's he?
Hamstring injury.
Oh, okay.
You had mentioned that teams might have figured out Georgie. Do you feel that? I mean, is it in a situation like where they figured out Leo Chu and there wasn't much progression to get more variety or diversity out of Leo's play?
No, I wouldn't compare those two. They're different circumstances, different situations. What we have to help Georgie with is every time he gets the ball, Jada, there's 1, 2, sometimes 3. If he slows it down a little bit too much, sometimes 4 defenders in his area. So when he recognizes that he's going to be one-on-one, we need to give him the freedom and confidence to go. When he's got 1 against 2, he's got to look up to see if there's a good pass, little give and go, something. If it's 1 against 3, he's got to find the open man because someone's going to be open. So it's a process there, and he'll get better at it.
So it's kind of a still development piece of his
he's
game
not the
rather
finished
than-
product yet. He's not the finished product.
You got a 3-game road trip here. Aside from obviously the difficulty of just being away from home, is there some kind of like added pressure just to get a result immediately to just
Well,
spark
we'd
the
like
season?
We'd like to. I mean, again, we're a pretty good road team. Games are, Dallas one's a little bit further, but going down to San Diego, going down to San Jose, those are close. So we can prepare well, and we'll see what we get.
Is there anything with Jose as far as pressure? Because like you had Jordan and Pedro, and like he had a good strong attack without the injuries. Is there anything like now? It seems like maybe teams can focus a little bit more on
Jesus
too, a little bit, or he's definitely
Maybe,
going
but
to
we
have to be
still
the
have.
person
Look,
to
we
score.
still have Albert, we still have Paul Rothrock. I thought Christian was okay there. I moved him out of position a little bit, but I thought he was running in behind. His energy, him and his brother. We have Georgie. We have other guys. We have other players that teams have to be.
Pressure.
I don't think there might be some internal pressure because players always have that because he wants to do well. When he first got here, that was some of his first comments. He really wants to do well here at a new club. But I'll check in with him this week, and he should be fine.
And then with Nuhu and Obed, when are you expecting them to return?
Obed tomorrow, and Nuhu, he's got a game today. He's actually playing now, and then he'll be back. Today's today, Wednesday, probably Thursday.
So they probably wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they would. Nuhu's done it before, so is Obed.
There at the end, you put Jesus with Musovski kind of as like a dual striker. Did you feel like he did better up there?
Moose was a little better. Are you talking about Jesus?
Jesus specifically.
Yeah, I think Jesus could benefit from a number 9. Yeah, sure.
Anything else for Brian?
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.